Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's wet here in Florida and it's a nice rainy day where you can't do anything with cars. This is Julio's Z28. Badass, huh? Well, anyway, let me get to showing you what I'm making this video about. We're working on EJ's car, and his purple car over there, it's got issues. It's slinging oil. He's got a rod knock. He ran it with low pressure. This is his new car right here. Well, the intake was leaking, the thermostat housing and the water pump. So we pulled the whole intake off, and I happen to have the gaskets. There are the old gaskets. There are the new gaskets. I had them with some of my Mustang parts. There's a new intake gasket. There's the old one. I had several sets of new ones. With these upper to lower gaskets, see how they have rubber? You don't use silicone on that. These you don't use silicone on either, but on these corners here, where it mates to the intake on the lower side. And you can see it right here, and right here. These pieces go in the back. I'm going to reuse these. I'm going to clean them up and put silicone on the corners, the four corners. Now, he broke a bolt off, and you know, kids learn it. He broke a bolt off in the housing here, thermostat housing right there on the right. I had to drill and tap it out and retap the threads. I went and got new bolts. I lubed her up real good with silicone. It's got the thermostat, new thermostat in there. Okay, now what we're going to do, you see this is super dirty here? We're going to clean this. I believe when I put something back on, I want it to be nicer than when it came off. That's my deal. So, you see here, we're going to get some carbon choke cleaner. And this is the one that came off the car. I'm going to have this all the way cleaned. You see down here? Nasty, huh? I'm going to clean this from top to bottom with carbon choke cleaner and clean all this crap out before I put it on. I'm going to run a buffer along the edges of both sides so I have a nice smooth surface to seal up. And then I'm going to seal up this intake back on the car. The upper intake I'm not so much going to worry about cleaning, but I do have an issue with the upper intake, and I'm going to show you that right here. I didn't do this. This was done prior to me having the intake. Okay, it has a vacuum leak I showed in previous videos right here. I don't know if I can pull this out. I mean, I got the other car. I could pull his intake off and put this one back on that car. It really doesn't matter. But I'd like to kind of fix this because this is one piece that goes together. But anyway, that fitting, there's a little plastic or bushing that goes over. If you guys have any ideas of what I should do, should I put another little smaller fitting in there and tap it in there and go to Home Depot and do it that way and just mess with it? Should I drill that out and put a smaller drill in there and step it up to a bigger one so I drill it out and it catches the drill? Give me ideas of what you think. Well, this is the intake that came on the motor. So I wanted to put this back on. Now before I put this on, of course, all these surfaces are going to be buffed and cleaned. Smooth, you know what I mean? Now, from upper to lower, you don't want to use silicone. Because see, these have rubber, perforated edge on the gasket. So you don't have to use silicone on that. And you can see the old perforated edge on the gasket there as well on the intake. The only thing I'm probably going to do with this upper intake, if we roll with it, if we don't flip the other one, is I'm going to spray throttle body cleaner in there and clean up the throttle body, but it doesn't look bad. This motor supposedly had 85,000 miles. From the looks of things, it looks like it, but I don't like how that looks on the intake, black and gummed up. And I mean, I'm sure that's how. So all that's got to be cleaned. before we go back on with the intake. So that's where we are with the Mustang project. We just gotta get some bolts, get the hardware. We have the gaskets, the water pump sealed. We have a couple other things to do. The catalytic converters, the O2 sensors were bad. We had 3 bad. We pulled them off. I found I had a truckload of other ones here, like a whole slew of them. I had O2 sensors out the butt sitting there plenty, so I put them on, and there's the other one he's missing right there, as you can see, and there's the header gaskets I had. So we need to put the collectors on, hook up the O2s to the harness. We need to, the transmission cross member had only 2 bolts holding it, so we need to add 2 bolts to that. Also, we need to check the automatic transmission fluid before we drive it, burp it, change the oil, and put coolant in. And I think that'll call it a wrap on this. I think it'll all be pretty much finished. So I have to get this done by the weekend, rain permitting, and it looks like it's slowing down now. I have to finish and seal this intake up and get this car mobile for the weekend, because his car's leaking oil everywhere and pain in the butt. Well, anyway, you guys have a good day. Like, subscribe, and share. If you got any ideas on the intake there, that little nipple, let me know. Thanks, guys. Try to stay dry. Bye.